Professional Education Part 1. Self-Review. To determine her students' level of moral development, teacher Evangeline presents to her class a morally ambiguous situation, and asks them what they would do in such a situation. On whose theory is teacher Evangeline's technique based? A. Brunner, B. Kohlberg, C. Freud, D. Piaget. The answer is B. Kohlberg. According to Tolman's theory on purposive behaviorism, learning is goal-directed. What is its implication to teaching? A. Evaluate lessons based on your objectives. B. Set as many objectives as you can. C. Stick to your objectives no matter what happens. D. Make the objectives of your lesson clear and specific. The answer is A. Evaluate lessons based on your objectives. Teacher M wants to use a diagram to compare the traditional and authentic modes of assessment. Which one is the most appropriate? A. Venn diagram. B. Tree diagram. C. Affinity diagram. D. Fishbone diagram. The answer is A. Venn diagram. When a teacher teaches the idea that it is wrong to think that Filipino lifestyle, products and ideas, are inferior to those of other nationalities, he fights against blank. A. Acculturation. B. Culture shock. C. Ethnocentrism. D. Xenocentrism. The answer is D. Xenocentrism. Which philosophy approves of a teacher who lectures most of the time and requires his students to memorize the rules of grammar? A. Existentialism. B. Idealism. C. Pragmatism. D. Realism. The answer is B. Idealism. Which among the following graphic organizers used helps to show events in chronological order? A. Timeline and story map. B. Timeline and series of events chart. C. Series of events chart and story map. D. Timeline and cycle. The answer is B. Timeline and series of events chart. Liza thinks about thinking. She is involved in the process called blank. A. Higher order thinking. B. Critical thinking. C. Metacognition. D. Creative thinking. The answer is C. Metacognition. The right hemisphere of the brain is involved with the following functions except A. Nonverbal functions. B. Visual functions. C. Intuitive functions. D. Detail-oriented functions. The answer is A. Nonverbal functions. Specialization is knowing more and more about less and less. Then it is better to be a generalist, claims Teacher Patty. On which philosophy does Teacher Patty learn? A. Existentialism. B. Progressivism. C. Perennialism. D. Essentialism. The answer is D. Essentialism. Mika enjoys games like Scrabble, Anagrams, and Password. Which type of intelligence is strong in Mika? A. Interpersonal intelligence. B. Spatial intelligence. C. Logical and mathematical intelligence. D. Linguistic intelligence. The answer is D. Linguistic intelligence. We will pray for your success. We will upload more self-assessment videos before the exam. Please like and subscribe if you want more of this video. Thank you.